Good afternoon, my name is Wei Zhang. In this presentation, I'll be talking about how I approach my final project for time series analysis. The data I analyzed is from Australian Bureau of Statistics. This is how I got my data, and it is about the number of births in Australia every quarter. So this data set is starting from the second quarter of 1981 up to the third quarter of 2019. There are in total 154 number of data points, and it is account data, but because it's in thousands, so they're sufficiently large, and I can use the methods I learned in this semester. I should say the birth here is means the delivery of a child who shows evidence of life. So in this data set doesn't include stillborn. First, let's do the visual analysis. Top left is my time series plot of this quarterly number of births in Australia. As we can see that there's very obvious seasonal patterns in the plots, with the fourth quarter often having a low number of births. Also, there are trend in this. There's a very obvious upward trend in this plot. In terms of autoregressive behavior, there is some, especially around this area, 2008. Moving average, there's also moving average in this plot, quite obvious. In terms of changing variance, it's not very obvious, but there's some changing variance definitely in this plot. Intervention point, one might argue this looks like an intervention point, but because the trend is going back to be the same, so I'm gonna analyze this series as a whole. And also bottom right, looking at the ACF and PACF plot, there is autocorrelation in a lot of lags. So this data this series is definitely not stationary. Also, we can see some slight wave pattern in this in ACF plot, especially in the lags of the lags 4, 8, and 12, etc. So this indicates the seasonal effect. And to further understand the time series plot, we'll need to perform the statistical test to confirm our assumption. This is only the visual part of it. Next is our model specification. Because the number of births is affected by social, economical, environmental factors, so I'm going to treat it as a stochastic trend with seasonality. So I'll be fitting through my model with residual approach. I'll also be checking the EACF to find out the candidate models. So this is my candidate models. There are two groups of it. The first group is the ones having the seasonal components 1, 1, 1. The second group is the ones with seasonal components 0, 1, 1. I'll be checking all of the parameters, their residuals, their visual plots, etc. In the end, I end up with those three models, top to bottom in the order of simple to complex. Those three models are the ones with all the coefficients significant. To find my most suitable model to forecast, I'll be checking their AIC score. It turns out my simplest model, the first one, Surima 011011, has an AIC score of 575, but my second model has the lowest AIC score. So it might be up to you which one you choose, but in this assignment, in this report, I'll be performing residual analysis for both, because they're both quite good. So in this presentation, I did the residual analysis for RMIT 011111, which is my second model here with the lowest AIC. And turns out the residual is really good. The standardized residuals looking pretty evenly distributed and random. Histogram shows symmetrical pattern. QQ plot looks that it's pretty close to normal distribution, and there's no significant lags here. Lujo box test also failed to reject the null hypothesis, stating that there's no autocorrelation in any lags. So this is really good. So I'm going to continue to use this model to do the forecast for the next 10 time points. So the forecast is shown in this blue line, and the dark shaded green means my 80% prediction interval, and the 95% prediction intervals are the ones with the light shaded area. It looks quite good, and as you can see, we are more confident to predict the next time point than predicting 10 years, 10 time points from now. I should say in this presentation, I've only covered it's only a big overview. I'll be talking about the details in the final report. Thank you for watching.